Hi, Brennan Moriarty. Okay, so I want to talk about some of the inventions that I'm hoping to prototype, assemble, compose that are with the unified social theory. So it's the Holy Grail. Okay, so that's like rather sacred, to to, to have theory behind compositions, and then composed to the point where the universe is complete as a sociological model, conserving our energy and our moral capacity. So let me search here kind of randomly for some pictures. Okay, so this is basically the vehicle of the future with the bathroom of the future inside of it. Uh, they're basically all going together. So okay, so let's go over some analogies. Uh, a vehicle, the standard automobile, um, it basically, if you spill something in there, it's incredibly difficult to clean it out. It's very sort of complex. All these formed shapes that are not reusable because they redesign vehicles every every year basically. So the parts for one vehicle do not correspond to the next year. So it's this perpetually disposable reality that is no good in a sustainable conservation of progressing into the new paradigm, into converging, conserving, all these things all unified. So now there's also your max headrooms. Boom, that's one of the cleanable things, and clean is health and godliness and stuff like that. So if you have someone who is the smartest person and they can't clean the thing because it's they're banging their head against the beams. This is the problem now. Textiles. Here's a shirt, long sleeve shirt. I like that. Keeps the sun off you. Uh, so textiles are very important for the the biovac, if you will, bivy or whatever, of comfort. So basically, comfort is actually number one. Efficiency is number two, because the most efficient way to travel would be, in a tube, just kind of like, you know, keeping your head down and stuff like that, and not seeing anyone, not communicating, which is not really, that's not how it works, unless if you are fuel yourself, in which case you have to conserve that. You have to sort of, it's not just an animal starting a fire. It has to be a spiritual sort of reality, of functional, on and on. This sort of ever expanding universe. Realize what the boundaries are. Okay, so let's talk about the vehicle. Okay, so uh, if you're going, forget 55 miles an hour, let alone 100 miles an hour, which is fun 5% of the time. Okay, that's a very small percentage of the time. If a small percentage of people were doing that small percentage of the time, then it would be, eventually everyone, 15 minutes of fame type of thing, everyone could do 100 miles an hour. But if you're going 44 miles an hour, in 1 hour, you travel at least 40 miles. Uh, Now, if you had to walk 40 miles, this would be ridiculous, it would take you days, mostly, if you were sane. Now, so you have this vehicle of the future, which is so lightweight that you can actually push it. Well, you can upgrade it and downgrade it for this function of comfort or efficiency. So you could put different. It's mostly this simple frame, but more of a wood uh, core, metal, non-corruptible, very light, not a salvage not a something that people are going to say, "Ooh, it's copper. Let's scrap it and melt it down and stuff like that." But it has something that's much more. It's functional. It's just, it's worth more as a unit. Like a container a couple hundred years ago wouldn't have been thrown away as long as it was cleanable and still functioning. So like an aluminum can, we just throw them away because there's another one coming along, and it has no future. This can has like a there's all kinds of paradigms of this unified social theory as the construction component, the manufacturing, the sustainable component, and it has the general rationale. It's like taking the cork out of the, letting the genie out of the bottle. Can you get the genie back in the bottle? Can you filter it before it even comes out, and vice versa? This is humanity of civilization, not the normative. You get into the normative prime, but you get into primeval ages when there was hardly any civilization. There was, because it was not functional. It would come a long way for grace, not for more kind of chaos or psychotic sort of everybody racing in a traffic jam and a gem of a pollution world. So yeah, so you have this vehicle. It's basically a frame, and you could do it with you could cover the openings with verging on textiles. This is more the comfort interior, but you could actually do it like rice paper or plastic, which is that can be expensive. Glass is heavy, but it's highly sustainable. The float glass, yeah, they can be rather thin, and you would have comfort inside of there, and you'd have autopilot on this vehicle. They basically, so what I was saying about going 40 miles an hour for an hour, 40 miles, if you didn't actually have to drive, it would be much more pleasant. You could do that for several hours, and if the road was extremely smooth and totally predictable, there was no person going, shut up or else I'm going to crash or something, No, you are with the people who you want to be with, in a convoy that's just random enough to be secure. I'll say, so you could change your paneling, your textile, if you will. This is part of the cosmic sort of grip that I'm trying to make for a scholarship that I'm hoping to get, because I got the extreme wisdom, but I'm also very cheap. So I'm being efficient. Okay, so I'm trying to say, okay, I have the vision, and been working on this for quite a while, since before I turned 30, in fact. Okay, if I look 30, thank you. Hey. Call me. Okay, so so you could actually put tempered glass in there, or it could be something extremely light that you could really push along as fast as you could walk, a vehicle. And it's basically a box that goes on an axle, a trailer, a wheel, some sort of wheel thing, maybe two. All the boxes would have caster wheels on them, so you could really move it in short distances with that system. But you would slide the thing literally with like a cable, or just pushing it on, jacking it up and sliding onto this very simple stuff, extremely simple stuff. No crankiness going around levers, perhaps, that jack without getting jacked or cranky. What's that? Okay, so you could put glass instead on, and it would have the frame would be sort of accept, whether it's rice paper, plastic. It has to be stable plastic, or in a stable environment. Some plastics melt very easily. But you could have glass. You could have heavy glass, so it could be very soundproof. It could be like your office, like the real estate bubble being formed with an architectural prototypical sort of adaptation, so that you have this vehicle, you can bring it in, it is more clean, more healthy, more comfortable and predictable than all the chaos that we would otherwise expect as unpredictable, sort of just unpredictable. You know, I've been writing quite a bit about this. Let's see here. Yeah, so heavy glass, that would just be fantastic. You could have something that is soundproof or something that is pushably light as the vehicle of the future. This is, unified social theory is this fantastic sort of reality, convergence of science and philosophy with an artistic sort of structure, like a grid that you can say, okay, here's this point, what does that correspond to? You know, this three-dimensional universe of civilization and humanity, and very much, you know, in the love sort of functionalism, love of functionalism, and love of humanity with general options that are very, you know, very sort of reserved but available. Not available to abuse, but available to use and to fuse, you know. Whoa, holding the heavens up, you know. This is, I'm hoping I'm like, unfortunately, I had some misguided stuff, or, you know, some smile, right? Smile at the cameras, you know, but it hurts. Okay, so I'm in the box, if you will, the box of pain. But don't tell that. Don't go talking trash. You know? So you know, this is. I want to do this magic thread, creating this universe. The thread is literally, you know, I'm like the needle or something like that, and this, you know, it's like the internet is really the thread weaver. It makes what you're seeing, and, you know, how we just press the button available, but for what purpose? You know, why are you driving 44 miles to do? You know, this is the great question, the great decision machine that requires hardware, requires software that works together there. And so I'm going to press send, because computer, you never know if it's working or not. You know, if this doesn't go on, I feel like an idiot. Normally I'm kind of quiet, you know. I always tell bad jokes. This is hopefully a good one. So yeah, sewing the magic thread. I need a scholarship, a grant, because I've been focusing intensively on this. I've not been working for half my life. Before that, I was just like doing landscaping for my dad, and planting trees and stuff like that. And this guy said, really cool Italian guy, says, as below, so above. So if you work down at the bottom down there, you know, digging a hole, planting a tree for a long time, you are basically having a reflection, it's like a cosmic, psychological sort of reflection of the very top. You know, you're digging a hole. What you're really doing is allowing heaven, light into heaven, basically, momentarily enough to get the picture. Okay, so let's see if it develops here.